Welcome to this webinar, Understanding Area Eligibility. I'm Ellen Reese. I'm a School Nutrition Program Manager for DESI Food and Nutrition Services, and thank you for joining this webinar today. In today's presentation, I'll give a brief overview of area eligibility. Then we'll go through the details about the different types of area eligibility, which are building area eligibility, attendance area eligibility, and area eligibility based on census data. We'll also talk about how long a site is area eligible, and then we'll go through some questions and answers for situations that might come up. These are some abbreviations that I'll be using throughout this presentation. So DESI is the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. NSLP is the National School Lunch Program. SBP is the School Breakfast Program. SSO is the Seamless Summer Option. SFSP is the Summer Food Service Program. CACFP is the Child and Adult Care Food Program. And USDA is the United States Department of Agriculture. So we'll go ahead and get started with the overview. So what is area eligibility? Sites or school buildings in low-income areas can provide summer meals and after-school snacks and suppers at no charge to all participating children, regardless of an individual child's status, through different USDA programs. These snacks and meals are reimbursed at the free reimbursement rate. So we'll talk in more specifics later on about what is considered low-income areas for area eligibility. The USDA programs that rely on area eligibility to provide free meals and snacks are the After School Snack Program and Seamless Summer Option, which are both part of the National School Lunch Program, the Summer Food Service Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. In Missouri, the After School Snack Program and the Seamless Summer Option are operated by us at the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, or DESI, and the Summer Food Service Program and the Child and Adult Care Food Program are operated by the Department of Health and Senior Services, or DHSS. In the After School Snack Program, snacks are provided after school, as you can probably guess from the name, but they're provided when an education or enrichment activity is operated. If the school is in an area eligible location, all snacks are provided for free and reimbursed at the free rate. If the site is not area eligible, then snacks can still be provided, but they'll be claimed at the free, reduced, and paid rates based on each child's individual eligibility status. In the Seamless Summer Option, schools can provide meals during the summer or during unanticipated school closures, which we've recently seen. And Seamless Summer Option uses the same meal service rules that are used during the regular school year. So the main difference is that meals for SSO are provided for free and claimed at the free reimbursement rate. To operate an open site, the site must be area eligible. An open site is a site where all children ages 18 and under are provided meals for free. With waivers this year, many schools have been able to operate closed enrolled sites, but during a normal summer, most schools would only be able to operate open sites, so they must be area eligible. For more information on the Seamless Summer Option, we have a couple other webinars during this workshop, one on Seamless Summer Option in general and one on the administrative review of the Seamless Summer Option. So you can look at both of those webinars if you're interested. In Missouri, the Department of Health and Senior Services, or DHSS, operates the Summer Food Service Program, or SFSP, of the Child and Adult Care Food Program, CACFP, which includes the At-Risk After School Program. For more information on determining eligibility for these programs, please contact DHSS for more information. Although the basics of area eligibility are the same for all programs, there may be slight differences when determining area eligibility for their programs, and they can help determine if your site is eligible. Next, we'll talk about the different types of area eligibility. The first type of area eligibility is if the building or site itself is area eligible. In our program, we call this building area eligible. A building is area eligible when the enrollment is 50% or more free and reduced eligible students. The next type of area eligibility is attendance area eligibility. For a site to be attendance area eligible, it must be in the attendance area of another area eligible building. And the last type of area eligibility is area eligibility based on census data. This is used for summer feeding programs and is not used for the after-school snack programs. We'll go into more detail about each of these types of area eligibility. First, we'll discuss building area eligibility. A building is area eligible if at least 50% of the enrolled students qualify for free or reduced price meals. The data used to determine this is from the most recent October. For seamless summer option, another more recent month may be used with state agency approval. For the after-school snack program, October data is typically used, but another month may be used if you have state agency approval for your specific situation. Now this year, with schools operating summer programs during the school year, we might see some changes in what data will be used for future years, but during the regular operations, October data is used. On the application packet in web applications, if you go to your list of building applications, in the far right column, the October free and reduced percentage or CEP percentage is listed under each building, and you can easily see if any of your buildings would qualify. In this example, these buildings highlighted in yellow were over 50% free and reduced, which means they are area eligible. You can also determine this number by looking at the October claim, or if you are looking to see if another month might qualify you, you can look at that month's claim. And you can use the month's claim to determine your free and reduced percentage. So to calculate the free and reduced percentage, you'll first add the number of free eligible students to the number of reduced eligible students. So in this case, they had 656 free eligible students and 133 reduced eligible students for a total number of 789 students. Then take that number and divide it by the school's total enrollment. So in this case, that would be 789 students divided by 1564 students. And that equals 50.44%. And since it's above 50% free and reduced, then this school is area eligible. As for schools operating the Community Eligibility Provision, or CEP, the percentage of free and reduced is determined a little differently because they do not collect free and reduced information for individual students. So for CEP buildings, the individual buildings identified student percentage, or ISP, is used, and then that is multiplied by 1.6, and the resulting percentage is used to determine area eligibility. So if the resulting percentage is at least 50%, then that building qualifies as area eligible. So for example, a school building that has an identified student percentage of 31.25%, that gets multiplied by 1.6, which equals 50%. So if the building has at least 31.25% as their ISP, then they would qualify as area eligible. When determining area eligibility for CEP schools, the building's individual ISPs must be used, and a grouped ISP cannot be used to determine the area eligibility. So that brings us to a good question. Are CEP schools automatically area eligible? And the answer is no, they are not automatically area eligible, but it is very likely that they're going to be area eligible. So area eligibility is determined based on each individual school, but when CEP eligibility is determined, schools can be grouped together to qualify for CEP, and to determine their claiming percentage, But for area eligibility, there can't be any school groupings. The individual schools' identified student percentages are multiplied by 1.6, and that must be 50% or higher in order for that building to be area eligible. So we'll look at an example here. To demonstrate this, we'll look at Cape Girardeau's identified student percentage for CEP. They have 5 buildings participating in CEP, and these 5 buildings' identified student percentages and enrollments are grouped together to determine their CEP eligibility and to determine their CEP free claiming percentage. So you can see the top here, this is their grouped ISP calculation. So for a grouped ISP, they add the number of identified students in each of the buildings together. Then they also add the enrollments of each of the buildings altogether. They take that total number of identified students, divide it by the total number of enrolled students, and that gives the grouped ISP. So that then gets multiplied by 1.6, and that's what determines their free claiming percentage. However, that cannot be used for area eligibility because it is the grouped ISP. So the individual buildings' ISPs multiplied by 1.6 must be used. So you can see in this chart, each individual building's ISP is listed, and then the ISP multiplied by 1.6 is also listed. So you can see using these individual numbers, Alma Schrader Elementary is not area eligible, but the other 4 elementaries are area eligible. That being said, even though Alma Schrader Elementary isn't building area eligible, it's still possible that it might be attendance area eligible or area eligible based on census data, and we'll discuss those in more detail later. In the building application for CEP buildings, the numbers that are reported are the individual building ISPs multiplied by 1.6. So the numbers here have already been multiplied by 1.6. So if the number here is at least 50%, then the building is area eligible. For schools operating Provision 2, if they are only operating Provision 2 for one meal, which is usually breakfast, then the free and reduced enrollment information from the other meal is used. For schools that operate Provision 2 for both lunch and breakfast, the free and reduced enrollment for lunch during the base year is used. When a new base year is established, or if the provision is dropped, then the new eligibility data must be used to determine area eligibility. If you're applying for Seamless Summer option and the building is building area eligible, then on the Seamless Summer application, you'll select an open site and select that it is qualified by % free and reduced approved school data. If you choose to operate a restricted site due to safety, control, or security reasons, you can select that option instead of open. For school year 2021, sites that were area eligible could also operate closed enrolled sites. And for school year 21-22, any site can operate a closed enrolled site. However, during a normal operation, closed enrolled sites cannot qualify from area eligibility and have to qualify based on the eligibilities of students enrolled in the particular activity. If you're applying for after-school snack program and the building is building area eligible, then in the building application, select building is building area eligible. So it's pretty straightforward for that snack program. Next, we'll discuss attendance area eligibility. For attendance area eligibility, a site is considered area eligible if it is located within the attendance area of a school where at least 50% of the students are eligible for free or reduced meals. So what does an attendance area mean? It's the geographic area where students living in that area are assigned to attend a specific school for their grade level. So this is often called school boundaries. Attendance area eligibility can be used to establish area eligibility for both after-school snack program and Seamless Summer option. To determine if a school is in the attendance area of an eligible school, you'll need to consult a map of the school district that has attendance area boundary lines. For example, this is a school boundary map for Cape Girardeau School District. Each color shows the attendance area of a different elementary school. If we zoom in on that map, you can see the attendance area for Franklin Elementary is highlighted in blue. On this map, the white circles are school buildings. You can see Franklin Elementary, and then you can also see Cape Central Middle School and Cape Central Junior High School. These buildings are in the blue area, so they're in the attendance area or in the school boundaries of Franklin Elementary. Another way to think about this is to think if a child lived at the address of the site, which school would they attend? So if an elementary-aged child lived at the address of the middle school, so if there were a house here instead of a school, then what elementary would that child attend? They would attend Franklin Elementary. So if Franklin Elementary is at least 50% free and reduced enrollment, then Central Middle School is attendance area eligible. And since the junior high school is also in the attendance area of Franklin, it would also be attendance area eligible. We'll look closer at this by first looking at a simplified example. In this example, we have Big Middle School, and its attendance area is highlighted here in blue. Then we also have Watson Elementary, and its attendance area is highlighted in green. We have Holmes Elementary highlighted in orange, Happy Days Elementary highlighted in red, and Friendly Elementary highlighted in yellow. So first, let's look at what would happen if Big Middle School had at least 50% free and reduced enrollment. Since it is over 50% free and reduced, any site that is in the attendance area or the school boundaries of Big Middle School is attendance area eligible. So its attendance area is shaded in blue, and since all of these elementary schools are in the attendance area of Big Middle School, then they would all be considered attendance area eligible. Now let's change it and say that Holmes Elementary is the school that is over 50% free and reduced. Its attendance area is highlighted here in orange. Big Middle School is in that attendance area, so it is area eligible. The other buildings are outside of the attendance area, so they are not area eligible. Changing this again, we'll say that Friendly Elementary has greater than 50% free and reduced enrollment. Its attendance area is highlighted in yellow. There aren't any other buildings in that attendance area, so they would not be area eligible. You can see Big Middle School is very close to Friendly Elementary. It looks like it's just one street over, so you might be tempted to think that it's attendance area eligible. However, it's not in that designated school boundary, so it is not area eligible. So for attendance area eligibility, you can't think of what school is close by. You have to use the actual school boundaries to determine eligibility. So even though Big Middle School is very close to Friendly Elementary, it is in the attendance area of Holmes Elementary. This brings us to our next question. Is attendance area the same thing as feeder pattern? No, only school attendance area boundaries may be used to determine area eligibility. The feeder pattern is not taken into account. So we're not asking if students go to Friendly Elementary, which middle school would they go to? We're asking what schools are in the attendance area or school boundaries of Friendly Elementary. One way to think about this is to consider a hypothetical child living at the address of the potential meal site. That child would be assigned to attend one elementary, one middle school, and one high school. The free and reduced price data for any one of those 3 schools could be used to determine the meal site's area eligibility. Usually, many elementary schools eventually feed into one middle school and several middle schools to one high school. But the many schools within the feeder pattern do not necessarily confer area eligibility on each other. They only would if they were in the attendance area. A meal site would ordinarily have only 3 schools it could use for determining area eligibility: an elementary, a middle school or junior high, and a high school. So now let's look at a real-world situation, and we're going to use Columbia School District as an example, and we'll first look at an example of a middle school. We're going to look at West Middle School and see if we can determine if it is area eligible or not. This is a map showing the middle school boundaries. Everyone in this bright green area would attend Smithton Middle School. Everyone in this reddish area would attend West Middle School. Everyone in the blue area would attend Oakland, and so on. For this example, we're going to look at West Middle School. West Middle School has 38.93% free and reduced students, so it is not area eligible on its own. Next, we'll look at what schools it is in the attendance area of. Or to think of it another way, if there was a house located where West Middle School is, and a high school student lived there, or an elementary school student lived there, which high school and which elementary would they attend? First, we'll look at the high school attendance areas. These are the high school boundaries. Anyone in the greenish color goes to Hickman High School. Anyone in this purple pinkish color goes to Battle, and anyone in this reddish color goes to Rockbridge High School. We see that West Middle School is in the greenish area, so that means that it is in the attendance area of Hickman High School. To see if it could be attendance area eligible based on Hickman, we'll look at Hickman High School's free and reduced enrollment percentage. Hickman High School is only 29.92% free and reduced, so West Middle School would not qualify based on the high school. So next we'll look at the elementary school attendance area that West Middle School is in. This is a zoomed-in map of the elementary school attendance area boundaries. West Middle School is in the attendance area of this bluish purple color, which is West Boulevard Elementary. Then looking at the free and reduced percentage, West Boulevard Elementary is 92.54% free and reduced. That is greater than 50%, so West Boulevard Elementary is area eligible, and West Middle School is area eligible because it is in the attendance area or in the school boundaries of West Boulevard Elementary. So now, still looking at Columbia School District, we'll look at an example of an elementary school. For this example, we'll try to determine if 2 Mile Prairie Elementary is area eligible. This is a map of the elementary school attendance boundaries. 2 Mile Prairie's attendance area is this red color. Looking at its free and reduced enrollment, it is only 33.92% free and reduced, so it is not area eligible on its own. We'll next look at the middle school and high school attendance areas to determine if it is attendance area eligible based on either of those buildings. So looking at the middle school attendance boundaries, 2 Mile Prairie Elementary is in the attendance area of Lang Middle School. Lang Middle School is 60.54% free and reduced, so 2 Mile Prairie Elementary is attendance area eligible based on Lang Middle School. Even though we don't need to because they qualify based on Lang Middle, let's also look at the high school attendance area. 2 Mile Prairie is in the attendance area of Battle High School. Battle High School is 50.54% free and reduced. So 2 Mile Prairie Elementary is also attendance area eligible based on the high school. And we'll finish with an example of a high school in Columbia School District. For the high school, we'll look at Hickman High School. Hickman's enrollment is 29.82% free and reduced, so we'll need to check if it is attendance area eligible. Looking at the middle school attendance boundaries, Hickman High School is in the attendance area of Jefferson Middle School, which is 40.74% free and reduced. It is not area eligible based on the middle school, so let's look at the elementary school boundaries. Hickman High School is in the attendance area of Benton Elementary. Benton Elementary is 92.46% free and reduced, so Hickman High School is area eligible based on Benton Elementary. If you want to apply for the Seamless Summer option and your building is attendance area eligible, in the Seamless Summer option application, you'll select Open and then Qualified by Other. In the Other description, list which qualifying building that the site is in the attendance area of. If you are operating a restricted open site, you'll select that option and then in the comments specify which building qualifies the site for attendance area eligibility. If you're applying for the after-school snack program, then in the building application, select attendance area eligible based on another building. You'll need to select that building that is qualifying the site you're applying for. If the building isn't on the drop-down list, then you'll need to enter it under Other. The final type of area eligibility is area eligibility based on census data. Seamless Summer option sites located in a census block group or census tract in which 50% or more of the children are eligible for free or reduced price meals are considered area eligible. Census data is used for the Seamless Summer option, but cannot be used for the after-school snack program. The census data is available through the FNS Area Eligibility Mapper, which is found at this website, www.fns.usda.gov/area eligibility. To use the Area Eligibility Mapper, you'll first type in an address on the map. The address will be mapped, and if it is located in a pink area, that means that the site is area eligible based on census data. If it is in a blue area, it is not area eligible based on census data. You could still see if the site is building area eligible or attendance area eligible to see if it could qualify that way. So let's go to the Area Eligibility Mapper website. You can type the address right in here, or you can click down here to view the larger map. For this presentation, just so you can see better, I'm going to click to view the larger map. The larger map does take a little while to load, so if you have slower internet, I'd recommend using the smaller map that's directly on the website. But once the map loads, you'll type your address into this box in the top left. And for this example, I'm going to type the address of the Jefferson building in Jefferson City where DESE is located. So I type that in and you can see that different addresses are suggested. And as soon as I find the one I'm looking for, I can just click on it. So here's the Jefferson building address. I'll click there and then it will map the Jefferson building. So you can see here The Jefferson Building is in a pink area, which means it is area eligible for Seamless Summer. So you could operate a Seamless Summer site at the Jefferson Building. I'm going to zoom out here too so you can see the difference with the blue area and the pink area. So anywhere in the blue area would not be considered area eligible, and anywhere in the pink area is considered area eligible for Seamless Summer. So that's how the area eligibility mapper works. So now we'll go ahead and go back to the presentation. Even though the census takes place every 10 years, this census data on the area eligibility mapper actually gets updated annually. The Census Bureau began to estimate household income using the American Community Survey, and they now do this on an annual basis. It is an ongoing survey that provides estimates based on sampling data to give communities more current information. And these data are released in October to encourage early recruitment and approval of summer feeding sites. To complete the Seamless Summer application for a site qualified by census data, you'll need to attach an image from the Area Eligibility Mapper in the application packet under the attachment list. To do this, you'll need to take a screenshot of the map and save a copy. A couple easy ways to take a screenshot are to use your snipping tool and then hit Save As on the snipping tool. Or when you have your map on the computer screen, hit the Print Screen button that's on your keyboard. That automatically copies a screenshot. And then if you open a document like a Word document and click Paste, it will paste the screenshot into your document. And then you can save that document on your computer and upload it to your application attachments. To upload it to your application packet, you'll go into the application packet in Web Applications. It's located under the Applications tab. Then click Details next to the attachment list, and then click Add Attachment, and then select the file to upload it. Once your image is uploaded, you'll go into your Seamless Summer option application. For the type of site, select Open and then select Other. Under the Other description, type Census Data. Again, if you're operating a restricted open site, you can select that and type in the comments that the site qualifies by census data. Now we'll discuss, once area eligibility has been established, how long that determination lasts. Once a site establishes area eligibility, the eligibility is effective for a period of 5 years, regardless of any transition from one child nutrition program to another. Area eligibility is established by operating an area eligible site for an applicable child nutrition program, which includes Seamless Summer Option, After School Snack Program, Summer Food Service Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. However, because area eligibility for after-school snacks and meals must be based on school data, sites that established eligibility on census data must provide additional documentation indicating that they are area eligible based on school data to operate after-school snack and meal programs. For example, if a site operates SSO based on school data, the eligibility is locked in for 5 years, so they could operate SSO or area eligible after school snack program during the next 5 years, regardless of any enrollment changes. But if a site operates SSO based on census data and they want to operate area eligible after school snack in that next 5 years, the after school snack would have to establish area eligibility from school data and could not use the previous census data determination. And then this year, due to COVID-19, there was an area eligibility waiver that was available. Schools that qualified through the area eligibility waiver will not be able to lock in that area eligibility for 5 years unless we receive different information from USDA at a later point. But currently, the site will only be eligible during the time period that the waiver is in effect. I have a few examples of how this 5-year eligibility lasts. In this first example, a school was determined area eligible for after-school snack programs starting in August 2018, so that's school year 18-19. The data used to establish the area eligibility was school data from October 2017, since that was the most recent October. So then the school is considered area eligible through the 2022-23 school year. So it's eligible for those 5 school years. Okay, the next example, we have a school that determined its area eligibility for seamless summer option starting in May 2019, which is still the 18-19 school year. The data used to establish that area eligibility was school data from October 2018, since in May, the most recent October would be from the current school year. So the school is considered area eligible through the 22-23 school year again. So those 5 school years it is eligible. Okay, and then as another example, a school determined area eligibility for seamless summer option starting in May 2019, so school year 18-19 still. The data from October 2018 did not establish eligibility. However, data from January 2019 did, and DESE approved the use of the January data to establish eligibility. So instead of October, now they're using January data. The school is still considered area eligible through the 22-23 school year, so those 5 school years. Our last example is a CEP example, which makes things a little more complicated. A school district started CEP in the 17-18 school year, so the data used to establish CEP was from April 2017. So the data is from the previous school year. They started CEP in 17-18 school year. All schools in the district have an identified student percentage multiplied by 1.6 that is greater than 50%. So all of them are considered area eligible. The school district's CEP cycle runs from school year 17-18 through school year 2021. So the CEP cycle is a 4-year cycle. All schools in the district applied and were approved for seamless summer in May 2019. So they established their area eligibility in the 18-19 school year, even though they established CEP in the previous school year. So area eligibility is good for 5 years, which means that they're considered area eligible through the 22-23 school year, based on the 2017 CEP determination. So even though the CEP data was from 2016-17 school year, and they started CEP in the 17-18 school year, the 5 years starts from the time they establish area eligibility, or in this case, when they started SSO. So once they started SSO, then they can continue SSO for 5 years. A redetermination will be due 5 years from 2019, even though the CEP ISP is due sooner. 5-year eligibility is locked in for seamless summer option. So what else is there to know? Now we'll go through a few questions and answers about some specific situations. Quite a few of these questions came from nokidhungry.org, and I thought they were good questions to share. I also have the memos cited that the answers come from. So the first question is, what if my district has school choice or busing? In this case, you can rely on the school data of the school that is offering the snacks or meal, or if school attendance areas are defined, attendance data may be obtained for the school the children attend or the school that the children would have attended were it not for the busing or school choice policy. So if you have any questions on this situation, please refer to USDA memos SP 6 2013 and SP 11 2011, and please contact us at DESE Food and Nutrition Services to discuss your exact situation, and we can help you figure out if the school would be eligible. Can school district-wide data be used to establish area eligibility, or must data from individual school buildings be used? So maybe in a school district, there are some buildings that have over 50% free and reduced enrollment, but other buildings have less than 50%, but the school district as a whole has greater than 50% free and reduced enrollment. So can the district-wide data be used? And the answer to that is no. Only data from the individual school or schools may be used to establish a site's area eligibility. District-wide data cannot be used. Do keep in mind that a building might be area eligible based on the attendance area of another building. And for summer feeding, it might be eligible based on census data. Here's the next question. I operate a charter school. Do I have to use data from the traditional public schools to determine eligibility? And the same question might be asked from a private school instead of a charter school. So non-public schools and public charter schools may use their school data. If a non-public or a charter school does not qualify based on its own data, then they can use the local public school data of whichever school or schools that they're in the attendance area of. However, meal sites in public schools or other community locations generally may not use private or charter school data to determine eligibility. So we'll go ahead and look at an example of this. So we have our same school district and district boundaries that we had before, but now we have a new private school in this school district. So this private school is Prep Private School. So Prep Private School is in the attendance area of Happy Days Elementary. So if Happy Days Elementary is at least 50% free and reduced, then Prep Private School is attendance area eligible based on Happy Days Elementary. So then we'll look at the other way around. If Prep Private School is greater than 50% free and reduced, but the other public schools in the area are not, then the public schools could not qualify from the nearby private or charter school. The next question is, my school isn't area eligible. Can I still participate in the after-school snack program? Yes, if a site is not area eligible, after-school snacks can still be provided and claimed, but they're claimed at the free, reduced, and paid reimbursement rates based on each child's individual eligibility. So they can't all be claimed at the free rate unless the site is area eligible. And a related question, my school isn't area eligible. Can I still participate in the Seamless Summer option? So not as an open site. Open sites can only be operated in area eligible locations. Which brings us to, if you can't operate an open site, can you operate a closed site? So my school isn't area eligible. Can I operate a closed enrolled site for summer school? So no, academic summer school programs cannot participate as closed enrolled sites in normal years. A closed enrolled site serves only children in a specific program or activity, not including academic summer school. The children enrolled in this activity must be at least 50% free or reduced to operate a closed enrolled site under the Seamless Summer option. So if you're not area eligible, you can't operate SSO for summer school, but you could operate a closed site for an activity other than summer school if the children participating in that activity are at least 50% free and reduced eligible. If you're not area eligible and you have an academic summer school, you can still operate the regular National School Lunch Program during the summer and for summer school. In that program, meals are provided and claimed at the free, reduced, and paid rates based on each child's individual eligibility. So this next question is asking if you can combine census data and attendance area. An elementary school is in the attendance area of a high school that qualified by census data for area eligibility. Is the elementary school eligible? So no, the census data cannot be used when determining attendance area eligibility. School data must be used to determine attendance area eligibility. So here's an example of that question. We have Brown Bear Elementary, which is area eligible based on census data because it's in the pink area on the area eligibility mapper. And its attendance area is highlighted here in yellow. So Wildwood Elementary School is not eligible based on census data because it's in that blue area on the map, but it is in the attendance area of Brown Bear Elementary. So is it eligible based on Brown Bear Elementary? No, since Brown Bear Elementary is eligible based on census data and not on school data, Wildwood is not attendance area eligible. So the next question is, if a middle school is in the attendance area of a high school that is less than 50% free and reduced, but the high school is in an attendance area of an elementary school that is greater than 50% free and reduced, is the middle school eligible? No, in order to be attendance area eligible, the site must be located in the attendance area of a building that is at least 50% free or reduced. So this question is a little complicated to follow, so I'll demonstrate that in a picture here too. In this example, Holmes Elementary is 50% free and reduced enrollment, so it is building area eligible. Big Middle School is in the attendance area of Holmes Elementary, so it is attendance area eligible. So here's the attendance area of Big Middle School highlighted in blue. Now Watson Elementary, Happy Days Elementary, and Friendly Elementary are in the attendance area of Big Middle School. So are they area eligible? No. To be attendance area eligible, the site has to be in the attendance area of a building that is itself at least 50% free and reduced. Attendance area eligibility does not extend to other sites. Okay, so that's all the questions, but to end this webinar, I wanted to address some specific considerations to keep in mind due to the waivers that were provided in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. For school year 2021, there is an area eligibility waiver that allows seamless summer operation, open sites in areas that do not meet eligibility requirements. This waiver expires on September 30th, 2021. For school year 21-22, COVID-19 waiver number 85 allows all schools to operate SSO, open or closed sites, regardless of area eligibility. So an SSO area eligibility waiver is not needed for the 21-22 school year. It's covered in the COVID-19 waiver number 85. For school year 2021, sites that were area eligible or who were approved for the area eligibility waiver could operate closed enrolled SSO sites. For school year 21-22, any site can operate a closed enrolled site regardless of area eligibility. There will no longer be a need for the SSO area eligibility waiver. During normal operation, closed enrolled sites cannot qualify from area eligibility and have to qualify based on the eligibilities of students enrolled in the particular activity. Academic summer schools cannot operate closed enrolled SSO sites, as I mentioned earlier. For school year 21-22, there is an after-school snack area eligibility waiver. This waiver allows schools, regardless of their location or area eligibility, to claim all National School Lunch after-school snack program snacks at the free rate. DESE will be providing information soon on what is needed to utilize this waiver. Because many schools were operating Seamless Summer Option or Summer Food Service Program in October 2020 and will be operating Seamless Summer Option in October 2021, what data will be used for area eligibility after these flexibilities? As far as we know now, the most recent October, which for many schools is October 2019, or a more recent month, will still be used. However, USDA may provide more guidance on these determinations, so that may change. All right, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions about area eligibility or any school nutrition program questions, please contact our main office or you can contact me directly. Thank you.